The JY-15 is CSC's primary racing dinghy. They're fast and maneuverable, but simple to operate, and form a common introductory competitive boat for club fleets across the U.S., mainly concentrated in the Northeast. Compared to the Quest, they're roughly 10% lighter and carry 10% more sail, with a smoothly curving but flatter hull shape facilitating quick turns and a ready transition to planing in favorable conditions. Their light composite construction is more fragile than the molded polyethylene used in teaching boats like Quests and Touras. Enthusiastic docking approaches or reckless encounters while racing might be shrugged off by a milk bottle boat, but in a JY can leave structural damage that's difficult, or in some cases, unfeasible to fix. They're also out of production and difficult to source on the West Coast. If a boat breaks beyond repair, our fleet may shrink permanently. If you're still working on smoothing out your docking, there's no shame in getting some practice in a more durable boat. Like the Quest, rigging begins with a walk-around and inspection of the boat and its equipment. First, lift the bow of the boat to drain any excess water that may have collected in the hull. Unlike the Quest, these boats aren't normally stored in a self-draining position. Once the water stops, install the drain plugs. Check that the anchor and paddle are present and securely tied to the mast, and that the anchor rod and chain can run freely. Look at the steel straps securing the shroud chain plates. Make sure screws and rings are present and secure. Scan up the shrouds and check that the spreaders and connections to the mast are sound. There's only one sail cover to worry about. Remove it in the yard and store it in the same place as the Quest covers. Check that the tiller and traveler are secured to the transom. Make sure both rings are in place and that the washer at the top of the pivot pin is present. Verify that the tiller is passed under the traveler. Check the hiking straps. They're less user-friendly than the Quest straps and can become stuck to the bottom of the cockpit if not properly bungeed to the jib sheet blocks. Finally, tension the rig with the lever mechanism at the forestay, secured with a detent pin. When moving the boat, take care not to strike obstacles with the rudder, as it's not readily removed for storage like the detachable design used on the Quest. The JY uses the same sling as the Quests. The major difference is that instead of connecting the side mount carabiners to loops of rope, we go straight to the chain plates holding the shrouds. Just like the Quest, be careful that the aft line isn't caught on the tiller. Drop the centerboard and rudder if the tide allows it. The JY has a cleat to secure the uphaul for the centerboard. The downhaul is held by a bungee line. To drop the rudder, remove the uphaul from the cleat on the tiller, then pull on the downhaul until the rudder drops fully. Cleat off the downhaul securely, then tie a half hitch around the tiller with the excess line to guard against a release underway. To raise the mainsail, start by unwrapping the main sheet and pulling it free through the main sheet block. Check that the reefing line is free and slack. Find the main halyard and tie it to the head of the mainsail with a bowline, taking care that it's running clear and not wrapped around a shroud. As there's no ball and no ganav boom fitting to snag on, the side through which the line is threaded does not matter, but be sure to tie the knot small enough to make sure you have enough room to fully hoist the sail. Check that the vang is uncleated. The JY has a conventional vang slung underneath the boom. Feed the bolt rope into the luff track and hoist. Feed the Cunningham through the grommet at the tack and secure as appropriate. The jib should be stored under the foredeck. Pull it out and find the tack, taking care to bring it around the mast on the side that lets each jib sheet run free. Secure the tack to the shackle mounted to the forestay chain plate. Then you work your way up the luff, securing each clip to the forestay, taking care to avoid causing a twist in the sail. When you reach the head, take the jib halyard and secure the free end with a bowline, or shackle if available. Once the sail is prepped, wait until you're ready to leave the dock before hoisting to avoid premature wear of the sail through flapping and heavy wind. When hoisting, provide at least enough tension to eliminate wrinkles or scalloping along the luff. In heavy air, more tension will be required. To reef, first remove the Cunningham from the lower grommet, then release the halyard. Pull the mainsail down until the reef tack is at the boom, then secure it with the Cunningham. Retension the main halyard, then pull the reefing line tight and secure the excess line. Tie the loose sail folds together with the reefing ties. Loop the ties under the control lines running along the boom. On the water, most of the controls and handling will be familiar to a sailor who's achieved a junior rating. The boom is much lower than the teaching boats and can present a hazard during jibes or other rapid movements of the boom. Helmets are encouraged, especially for sailors new to racing boats. The jib sheets are designed to be secured by the cleat on the windward side, opposite the block crossing the cockpit. This makes adjustments in heavier air much easier for the crew, especially when hiking hard. The vang is conventionally routed under the boom, cleated by a notch stamped into the sheet metal of the vang block. Like the boom, it may be an unexpected obstruction to the crew. Keep an eye on it, especially during jives. The main sheet is anchored to a traveler mounted on the transom. This can form an obstruction for the tiller extension while tacking. Be careful to pull the tiller extension through to the new windward side of the boat while the rudder is still deflected to avoid getting stuck. The transom-mounted traveler can present another issue while rapidly heading up, such as during the rounding of a leeward mark. If the boat is turned before the sheet is trimmed, it's possible for the sheet to hook the transom and prevent the sail from fully coming to a close-hauled position. If this happens, ease main sheet tension slightly and reach back to clear the obstruction. To prevent it, try to trim the main more aggressively during the start of the turn. The induced weather helm will also help the boat come to a close-hauled course more rapidly. The JY doesn't have falls like the Quest does to pull the boom around for maneuvers like slow sailing or jiving. The same function is provided by a line attached to a steel ring running along the main sheet. To stow the JY, start by lowering the mainsail. Roll and secure it to the boom using the main sheet. Lower, detach, and roll the jib, folding it carefully into the foredeck. Secure the free end of each halyard to its cleat or the trapeze hooks if the halyard isn't long enough to reach the cleat. Raise and secure the rudder and centerboard before hoisting the boat. Grab a JY dolly. They're identified by a strap running between two vertical supports and don't have laser written on the front. Pull the plugs and drain any water left in the hull. If it's more than a few liters, note it in the dinghy log. Pull the pin to detension the rig. Then grab a cover and secure it over the boom. JYs live intermingled with ventures on the left side of the yard as you come in, opposite the stacks of quests. Pack the boats close together or else the last one to come on shore won't fit. Don't forget to sign it back in when you're done. Happy sailing. Thanks for watching.